I hope I'm audible to all of you.
Yes,
Good
Shruti,
afternoon. Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Okay, we will start with our session for today's bridge course training. Okay, so before beginning, we should know that we have only 4 weeks for execution of this bridge course. Okay, since the planner has showing you the activities which are designed for 6 weeks. Okay, so we will see which are the activities or the subject under which we have to conduct the activities. First subject is things around us. Second is exploring sky. Third is different landforms, healthy living habits, mapping, and creativity, collaboration, and communication skill. Now, this is the planner which is given to you all. Just is it is the suggestive one. You can change according to your school and the school timings according to your timetable. Then this is the activity wise timetable which is given to you all: Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. Please, this is just the suggestive one which is given to you all. Reorganize the timetable according to your needs of your school. Now let's begin with the activities to be done for the week, for this entire month. First one is things around us. This is the topic 1. Under that, you have first activity, which shows you about introduction to materials. Under this, what you can do is, firstly, we should know that all the activities are to be conducted in the groups. Okay, so that each and every child will help each other, and the competencies you have to look for is the different types of competencies have to be encountered for different activities. So see that you plan the activities in such a way that you deal with all the competencies. So first one is about introduction to materials. First is to identify different materials like plastic, glass, paper, fabric, metal, and wood. This can be given to the children, and they can write about their appearance, materials of which they are made up of. So this is a tabular form which is given, so they can classify them whether they are hard, soft, and the materials which they are made up of. It is not hard and fast that you have to conduct only one activity at a time. You can just club up the 2 activities according to your needs. Second one is about the opaque, transparent, and translucent materials. In this, you have to identify and classify the materials as opaque, transparent, and translucent. So in this experiment, you can use the light to pass through the different objects using a flashlight, so that you can deal with the real life applications as well. So you can give here the different types of materials to the children and tell them to feel uh, the table which is given over there. See that you don't directly target the rote memorization or writing up of the essay type answers for this. Whatever they are writing, you have to accept it and you have to act like a facilitator, just like a guide. Then third activity is about how it works, toys and spinner. In this activity, you have to give different materials like coin, bangles, pencils, stone, wooden spinner, eraser, and tell them to spin it and see for how much time it spins or after how much time it slows down. And they have to write their observations in this table and the possible reasons for that. Then you can customize the same activity according to your needs. Like here, it's as you can see, you can customize in the way that you can use a blunt toothpick, and you can reduce the length of the toothpick at the bottom of the cardboard, or increase the length of the cardboard or length of the toothpick. Then again, you can use a pen refill also, or a try bigger size spinner and record the observations for each of them. Okay. So next activity which we can focus on is spinning top challenge. Okay. Here you can have a healthy competition within the children that tell them to make their own spinning top and give them the designated area to show the spinning among the children, and you can have a healthy competition for how long the spins for a longer period of time. Okay, so that can be done under all these things. Then activities 1.5 focuses on the refuse, reduce and reuse challenge. Under this, you can tell the children to get the different materials, which are basically the waste or the discarded materials from home, and you can divide the children and tell them to make something best out of waste. Okay, so you can have here also an healthy competition within children, and the creativity level will also be seen in this activity. So they can bring anything, maybe a cloth or the used rubbers, or they can make the creative items like flower vase, have wall hangings, showcase items, or anything else which are according to their potentials. The next activity is about float and sink. So you can give the different materials to the children and tell them to just put it in the bucket of water and observe over there. So here the different materials which can be used is iron nail or a pin, or it can be an empty bowl, empty bottle, bottle which is half filled, bottle which is fully filled with water, and accordingly what is the observation which can be seen, or why, what may be the reason, and what is the observation that they have seen, and what could be the reason. So these are the simple things that which they have to write. Sorry. So then you can cater about the actual reasons behind it, that why it sinks and why it floats. Then you can again customize this activity. How does the shape play an important role in the process of floating and sinking? So here you can give the aluminum foil which is open and spread out, and guess what might be the possible outcome. Then pressed tightly into a ball, aluminum foil which is very pressed very tightly into a ball, what is the possible reason? Or in a cup like shape, what is the reason? Okay, and the observation. So here the children have to write the possible outcomes, what is seen during the activity. Now next one is topic 2, that is exploring sky. Under this first activity which can be conducted is what would happen if the sun disappears. Okay, so you have to divide the students into two groups and have a healthy argument that one group will talk on the or give the opinions on why sun is important for life on earth, and another group will argue on the topic imagine a world without a sun. So after having the point of views of each group, you can have a healthy discussions about what are the possible survival strategies which can be uh, done to see what happens if the sun disappears. Okay, so last is, while giving their point of views, they can also create the posters or have a slogans while giving their presentations. Next is shadow tracking and watching the sun's movement. So this can be done by using a stick or a bottle in any area where the sunlight is available for a longer period of time, and students have to go there and observe the shadows at the various timings. Okay, so maybe at the morning, what is the length of the shadow? At the midday, what is the length? And in the afternoon, what is the length? Okay, so since we have school still only till 11, child can do this activity at home also and observe the shadows and mark the length of the shadows and answer the questions. Then the next activity is 2.3, two faces of the sky. You can make a child to draw the sky during the daytime and the night time so that he can record about the various changes in the sky which takes place during the daytime and during the night time. So what do you see in the sky? You can give just the possible outcomes for this with accordance to the pictures they have drawn. And if they found, okay, these are the changes which are seen, then they can just have a take. And which are the changes seen during the night time, then they can have just a take over those in the tabular columns. Then based on the discussions, they have to identify the objects that were drawn by most of your classmates. And in the night sky, as I said just now, moon changes its shape. That is, it is the observation which is seen during the night sky. And why it happens, why does the change shape of the moon is changed? So these questions can be catered by the teacher in the class. The next is sky watchers. In this activity, you have to ask the children about various questions like what objects we can see in the sky during the day and night, or how does the sky change throughout the day, or what is the shape of the moon on the various nights. Okay, so after asking these questions, the child has to collect the data and analyze about the observations. That is, for example, on the 25th of February at the time 7 a.m., the sky color is light blue. Clouds, whatever is seen, is either scattered. If the clouds are there, yes or no, scattered or clubbed. Then sun or moon present or not. Sun appears in the east. And other observations, if any seen, then child can write it. And then after collecting the data for the several days, this can be converted into the tabular form, can be converted into the paragraph form or the model to show that these are the changes which are taking place in the sky. Then next is about let's explore the sun, moon and our traditions. So here, after recognizing the different celestial objects which are associated with the festivals and our traditions, so we can make the children aware about various festivals which are associated with the sun and moon. For example, Diwali, Purnima, Chhat Puja, and the local festivals which are related. Then next is about the moon observation. How does the moon look? This activity is time consuming, but if we start on the first day, we can complete it within 15 days. That is observing the phases of moon for 15 days. And firstly, they have to prepare one model using the clay or a dough or maybe some cardboards showing the different phases of the moon. And after this phases of the moon, they have to just compare what they see every day and compare it with the model they have prepared. So they can prepare their own journal saying that on this particular date, at this particular time, they have seen this shape of the moon, and also write about the weather, whether it is cloudy, clear or rainy. So they have to go outside, observe the moon daily and compare and analyze about the 15 days, the different shapes of moon, and compare it also with the model they have prepared. Then review and fun quiz. So since we have covered with almost all the components of the sky, exploring the sky, so you can have an astronomical quiz on this. Either you can have a house-wise or divide the children into different groups and have a quiz among themselves. Then moving on to the next topic, that is different landforms. So here First, we can give a small project to the children to identify different landforms. Okay. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, you're audible.
Okay. Sorry for the. Okay. So next activity is about the project that we have to give to the children to identify the different landforms. Okay. So you can take the children to the nearest place wherein they can identify different landforms. Okay. Or either if it is not possible for you to take the children outside, then you can just tell them or show them the pictures. Okay, so they have to name the landform, features of the landform, the plants which are found over there, animals, then the clothing, then food commonly eaten by the people, and the crops grown over there, and just find out whether what is the maximum and the minimum temperature from either from the newspaper or any other sources. The next is about the picture reading in association with the first activity that we have done. Picture reading can be done. You can show the different landforms and ask the relevant questions to the pictures which are shown. So as you can see here, one picture is given life in a mountain and various questions are being asked. Name the plants which are seen, types of the houses which are constructed, dressing of the people, major food which is preferred in that region. Okay, so these are the questions you can ask to the children. I think someone's mic is on. Please put off the mic if you don't want to say anything. Then next picture which is shown over here is life in the desert. So you can ask again the same question to the children with respect to this picture. Then matching the shadows with the picture. This is the related activity which you can give to the children. Then third one is about the role play. Now here what you can do is students will enact the different plants, animals, people, work, festival in the coastal area, maybe the plain areas or any other landforms. So in a creative way, you can create a stage for the children to have a role play. Like for example, here it is given to see or to show the seashore. You can use a light blue sari, make a model of a boat in the sea, and just one student can act like a dress up like a crab, turtle, seaweed, fisherman, and they can have a role play over there. So with the characteristics, they can also identify now the type of a landform. So high temperature, what may be the possible landform? Low temperature, what is the possible landform? Then is identifying plants and animals of the different landforms and coloring activity. So you can just provide them the picture of a landform and tell them to color it. So this is the example which is given. They have to write the name of the landform and color the picture. You can also give the animals or the plants separately, make them cut paste on that particular picture also. That can be the additional thing which you can do. You can customize your activity based on this, but see that the competencies are not hampered. The next activity is My Surroundings, My Lifestyle. Here in this activity, teacher can give the pictures of various landforms using the maps and relate it with the housing patterns, transport, clothing, foods, and the crafts which are related. So here you can tell the children how we have changed or modified our lifestyle from traditional ones to the modern ones. The next activity is about living across the landforms, the similarities and the differences. So landforms you can compare and also find the similarities with respect with the different aspects like houses, food, occupations, festival, which is definitely different in the coastal, mountain, plains, and the desert areas. So these are the various aspects which are given, and the various landforms are also given. So child can write about this or complete this tabular formula. So this tabular formula, either you can give it to the children as in the form of worksheets, or also they can write it on their book. Next activity is about disaster, prepare and respond. Under this activity, you can give the cutouts of any newspapers showing certain disasters which has recently happened, and ask the questions and discuss about that particular topic. And after that, you can have a mock drill, or you can also show the video clippings to the children. Also explain them about the earthquake safety, how disaster management can be done, or you can show the video clippings. Next is healthy living habits. Under this first activities, let's discuss the food and culture around us. So here you can give them a brainstorming pictures and discuss about the various food items they have already eaten at home, and discuss about the different food which are eaten in the different regions of India. Here you can also focus on that why different types of food is eaten in the different regions of India. So by using posters, stories, or the flashcards, you can introduce the concepts. And here you can also highlight about the hygiene practices that we need to follow, and the food moderations that we are doing, and how to reduce the wastage of food. Next topic is introduction to the food groups. So to begin with this activity, ask the children about what they had for the last meal, and purposely write all the meals which they had, all the food items, just write it on the board, and then give them the A4 size sheets to the children which are there working in the group, and tell them to categorize those food items according to their knowledge. Okay, and then you can tell them about the three major classifications that they have to do is energy giving foods, bodybuilding foods, and the protective foods. Okay, so then you can move to the next important topic, that is introduction to the balanced diet. So once we are done with the components, major components of the food, we can also tell them about what is the balanced diet, how important is the balanced diet. So to do this activity, that ask the children what they had for the breakfast, what they had for lunch, evening, and dinner. So from this activity, you can have the next, that is tracking your eating behavior. They can just note down what are the things they eat, they are eating for the lunch, breakfast, evening, and dinner, and then just have a track record whether they are eating a healthy food or a junk food. So tracking your eating behavior is the next activity. So from this, they will understand how much quantity of the food is to be eaten, and what are the food that has to be eaten at that particular time. So you can ask them some questions like, if someone offers you more food than you need, then what you are going to do? If you don't like some food in your plate, then what you are going to do? Next activity is about, let's do a food and a health hygiene survey. In this, demonstrate the children how to do a simple survey, collect the data, and organize it into a bar graph. Okay, so the collection can be done over here by asking the questions to the children, okay, certain amount of questions, and then convert it into a bar graph or a pie graph and have a healthy discussion on it, that what kind of food is eaten, at what time the people are eating food, which is the most common meal which is eaten, and how much food is wasted in a home every day, and how you clean up your space in the kitchen. Do you wash your hands before eating, after eating? Okay, so these questions can be asked and the data can be collected and converted into a bar graphs. Then create a healthy eating poster. So here, this activity is full of creativity. Child can create its own poster, having the catchy slogans in it like "Eat the rainbow," "Fuel your body with healthy food," "Choose whole foods for strong bones and muscles." Okay, so here they will understand from this poster how they are designing it. We will understand whether they have understood about the balanced diet, healthy hygiene habits, wastage of food, avoiding the wastage of food. Everything will be understood in this activity. And the last one is under this topic is 4.7, day in the life of our food. Now, this you can have a role play on this. Since food is very important, you can just tell the children about to enact the farmers, all the stakeholders in this, the transporters, market vendors, shopkeepers, cooks, then consumers, and you can show the entire story of a food from farm to plate. So in this, child, when they enact themselves, they will understand the importance of food, avoiding the wastage of food, how it is transported, how it is sold, how it is cooked, eaten, and how to eat. Everything they will understand in this role play. And it will be fun for them to do the role play as well. So you can give the script to the children. Short dialogues can be given, irrespective of the language. Then under week 5, mapping. So under mapping, what can be done is reading and navigating a route map of a familiar place. So familiar place to the children is either a school or at home. So what we can do here is we can give a floor map to the group of children to locate the various places in the school and follow the directions. So what can be done is, while walking, the students would be directed to look for the important landmarks like classes, rooms, washrooms, etc. On the way, they should be also directed to observe the floor, use the spatial vocabulary such as to my immediate left, right, behind, in front. Okay, so these all those instructions they have to follow and locate the places which are told to them to locate. So here you can make them aware about certain important symbols which are used in the directions or on the roads as well, the traffic rules. So the stop, no right turn, no U-turn, one-way traffic, no parking, school ahead, hospital ahead, mountain ahead, petrol pump. So you can use this symbols, tell them to draw those symbols and where they are used. You can make aware the children about all these things. So provide a map for a school of a map of a floor of a school, a sample map. So you can design uh, with the help of the children and the teacher as a facilitator. We can move to the next activity, that is a sketching a route map to a familiar place. So here are the classes which are shown: class 1, class 2, 3, 4 and 5, and the girls washroom, playground, storeroom. So according to your school, you can just make a floor map and tell the children to locate some of the places in the school. For the additional ones, you can tell them to also make the floor map of their own house. So how you can organize this activity is students should be reminded of the map they saw and navigated. Now divide the groups into 4 to 6 and encourage them to draw the route map in the direction of the exit from the class towards the library or any other familiar place. You have to show them the landmarks also to draw the same and allow and walk the route again and then draw. So student have to memorize and draw it again, the floor maps. Then as continuation to that activity, navigating and editing the map drawn. So for this activity, the maps which are drawn by the different groups of the class, they can be exchanged, and after exchanging, the children can make the modification of different groups, or either we can have a healthy discussion or healthy discussions about what can be the possible changes that can be made in the floor map for easy understanding. You can also give them the activity asking about to draw or sketch a map of their home or the nearby shop, school, park, market, or any other nearby place. Then this is very interesting activity wherein you can have a scavenger hunt, that is reading clues and finding the treasure. This is the most commonly played game in the schools, treasure hunts. So what you have to do is the team formation has to be done. Students will be divided into groups. Ensure that each group has the following materials, that is a printed map of the floor, a pencil, paper, or to make the clues. Then explain the task to the respective groups. That is informing the students that today they will have to be preparing a set of clues for the scavenger hunt. Each group will be responsible for creating the clues that lead to the specific locations. Suppose the children are not able to do on themselves, you can just guide them how to make the clues so that they will reach the particular location. Then the clue card creation has to be done. Then provide each group with the set of sheets. Instruct them to create a series of 2 to 3 clues that will eventually lead to a hidden object or a location. Encourage them to use the directions which we have already made them learn about it, how to follow the directions, then the map details, identifying the symbols which are given. Then the map reference, emphasize that the clues should be related to the school floor map, ensuring that the final clue points back to the starting location. Then, while writing a clue review, circulate it among the group to offer the guidance. Check your clues by walking yourself and ensure that the clues are appropriate, clear, and not too difficult or lengthy. It should not be time consuming, also, it should be clear, and the child should reach to the proper conclusion to find the particular location which is expected to find. Then collection of the clues. At the end of the day, the teacher will collect the clue cards from each group and keep them in an envelope to prepare for the next day. Okay. So before execution of this activity, before 2 3 days before, we have to prepare all these things and execute the activity on the set date. Then next activity is story followed by the discussion. Now here you can tell the children about various stories of a boy which is lost in a mela or any. or any road which is unknown to him, all of a sudden he missed with his family and he is left alone. So here is a short story which is given: a boy which is lost in his way in a magical forest, and how he found his way home by marking special landmarks like big trees and rocks. Then the forest was full of strange trees and glowing flowers. So he was scared at first, but then he remembered the advice given by his grandmother, that marking of the trees, stones you pass, and you will be always finding your way. So he carefully marked all the a tall pine tree, a glowing flower, and a rock shaped like a ball. And following these marks, he finally found his way back home. So after reading this story, discuss the following questions. This is the suggestive story which is given. You can create on your own. So when you are unfamiliar with the route of a place, how would you find a way out? Okay, so some related questions which are uh, triggering the children's mind, that kind of questions can be asked, and you can also relate it to the importance of the maps which are using, and also the technology which we are using, that is the Google Maps, how it is helpful to us. Then next activity is about follow my directions. Now in this activity, teacher can ask the children to follow the directions which are given. So you can make a list of instructions that walk 5 steps forward, turn right, take 3 more steps, and stop near the notice board. Okay. So this kind of small instructions can be given, and find out whether child is about to follow those directions or not. The next activity is my locality, colony, or a housing society. In this activity, you can provide a simplified local map to the children and ask them to locate uh, home, school, market, or a park. So, provide a simplified local map of a neighborhood to the children. Let the children mark and locate home, school, market. Do a circle time discussion like how do roads and landmarks help us in navigate. Let the children draw their own simple locality map, including roads and key landmarks. Okay, so this activity can be conducted by telling the children to identify the different locations, and also how roads and landmarks help us in navigations, in finding our own houses or going to a new place wherein which is unknown to us. So with the landmarks, we are able to reach the particular location. And last is about topic 6, that is creativity, collaboration, and communication. So in this topic, we can have the clubbed up activities like brainstorming, discuss, and plan. Here we can have event called as Joy of Game Carnival. Now, in this, you can ask the children, first divide the children in a different group and ask them to design the games which can be held for the event in which has to be executed in the last week of the school. So here you can enhance the creativity and the teamwork. So what are the possible activities which can be performed? So as a teacher, you can help them. So here are some suggested activities which are given. That is, pick the object, bowl and uh, bowl and ball challenge, eraser maze, bangle bottle challenge, encircle the object, hand and foot challenge, then paper airplane challenge, mirror walking. So these are the examples, the suggestive ones, or you can encourage if the child has some extraordinary activity apart from this. So if the activities, if you find they are too easy, the games they are too easy, then you can just make them more challenging by adding the twist to them. So here, teacher should provide a format to the children in the way the child has to show the or give the submit the activity to the teacher. So this is the format which the child has to give to the teacher, that is number of players. First, writing the name of the game, number of players, materials required, how to play, and the rules of the game. So, how to play, that has to be the steps from starting to the completion of the game, step by step, point wise, all the steps are to be given. Then, rules of the game, point wise, all the rules are to be provided by the child. And created by the particular group, whoever whichever the group is, they have to write the name and submit it to the teacher. Now, since we know that the event has to be outreach to all the people, since it will be in the school, so advertising and the outreach, how that can be done. So here the child's creativity or the communication or designing skill can be developed of how to create and engage the advertisement. So here the child has to prepare an advertisement in such a way that the audience which are going to come and play these games, they should be feeling like, okay, now I have to play this game. So in that way they have to advertise their particular games. So here these are the few jingles which are given, that is toss it high, aim it right, then pick it up, don't let it drop, use your straw, don't you stop, then fold it, shape it, make it fly. So depending upon the game which they are designing, let them make their own phrases, own jingles, and present them uh, in front of the children. So groups will choose an advertisement style, whatever it may be, need not be only jingles, they may have some other creative ways also, and rehearse their advertisement. Each group will present the advertisement to the class, and students will note down and share the qualities of the good advertisement in their notebooks. Then next activity is about the carnival day. That is the actual day of the event. So here, before organizing any event, you have to give the responsibilities to all the children of how to organize the event or what are the different roles to be given. So first is groups will set up their stalls. So as many activities or the games which are designed, those many stalls will have to be provided. Then you have to assign the roles such as timekeeper, facilitator, and a norm keeper. Now each group will consist of 6 students. 3 students will manage their stalls, that is, rule sharer, timekeeper, recorder, while the other 3 will explore and play the games at different stalls of their choice. Now, after 30 minutes, they will swap their roles and responsibilities. The group that was earlier managing the stall will now go and play with the teams and games, while the ones who are played earlier will manage their game stall. Okay, so this can be done. Now, the role of the timekeeper is to monitor the allotted time for each game and act as a referee to ensure the fairness. Now, the rule sharer, he will explain the game rules and guide the players through the steps. Wherever required, the rule sharer will or tell or remind about the rules which are designed for those particular games. Then the recorder will keep the record of the visitors to the stalls and award stars to the winning players by marking their right hand with the sketch pen. So as the event comes to an end, the student carefully will wind up their games and stalls. They diligently collect all the materials used and ensure that everything is returned to the designated place. Now here, working together, they can scan the area to pick up any litter, ensuring that the ground is left spotless. So here in this activity, we are not only looking for how they are collaborating, how the teamwork is done. We are also looking for the hygiene or keeping the area clean. That has to be also seen or taken into the consideration, or how the child is able to manage all the people who are actually entering into the game, how they are explaining the rules, how the timekeeper is doing the job perfectly. So all these responsibilities given to the different children, see that they are doing it up to their mark. The next one is reflection and the evaluation, that is self-awareness and the teamwork. Here you have to divide the class into two teams. Then let the teams discuss and prepare their viewpoints on the topic of outdoor games versus digital games. Now, since we are getting more and more techno savvy, you will find that some of the children will design the games which are digital, so they can have discussions about, or you themselves while preparing at the day first, you can emphasize the children to make the different types of activities, not only outdoors but the indoor games also, as well as the digital games or educational games. Like suppose snake and ladder is there, then only snake and ladder has can be added with the mathematical terms like multiplication, division, the simple calculations can be added. So this can be also done. So you can tell the children the day one only while they are preparing the games, keeping into mind that at the reflection in the evaluation time, you have to discuss on this topic. So you can conduct the debate and let the children vote on which side or which of the arguments were stronger, which viewpoints were stronger. Then you can ask the children about what are the advantages of the outdoor games, how we can balance playing both non-digital games and digital games. So at the last, here they are given the curricular goals and the competencies. So while designing the activities, see that you have to match the competencies and you see that you cater different competencies. So don't stick to only one activity at a time. You can club the activities, as well as you can club the activities with the PE teacher, geography teacher, okay, whichever multidisciplinary activities you can have. So after 4 weeks, what a teacher, subject teacher is expected to do is prepare a report of all the activities which you have conducted. We know that there are more activities over here and the time is less, but see that you cover maximum of the activities by clubbing or customizing it according to your way. Then see that you keep the photographs of each activity, so that whenever we have to submit the report to the GSCERT, you can give the photographs also with the report. Okay, that's all with the session. So once again, I'm repeating all the points. Since we have classes maybe till 11 or 11:30, so instead of 6 weeks, we are getting only 4 weeks. So try to complete the maximum activities as you can. Then focus on the understanding rather than rote memorization. Then let the child explore or tell the answers in their own way. Then you need to submit the report of all the activities that you have conducted to GSCRT. And last point is about catering all the competencies while planning and execution of the activities. Thank you.